Hi, I'm Mark Scherer. I'm the CEO and founder of Encompass Life and the host of the Wellness Revolution. Excuse me. I had the podcast named that before. Hi, I'm Mark Scherer. I'm the CEO and founder of Encompass Life and the host of the Encompassing Life podcast. Today, we have Mike Morrison. He's from Cape Cod, and he has a business called Right Away Adventures, Right, RIDE, Away Adventures. And Mike's going to share how he got into doing what he's doing, and because he's always had a passion to help people, and he's had some really unique ways of doing it. So I'm excited to have him on the show today. Mike, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it big time.
Awesome, sir. So can you share a little bit about what was your passion for starting your company? Because you've in it for 17 years now, you said.
17 years. Yep. This will be our
So that
17th
takes
season.
some passion to keep a company going for that.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I was born and raised on Cape Cod in Sandwich, which is one of the towns we operate. Loved being raised here on the beach, family of teachers, just basically, being very connected with our environment, the beach life and everything and being so connected to education and conservation on Cape Cod that when the time came and the opportunity came to decide what I was gonna do as far as a career, creating Ride Away kind of naturally came up and I was able to kick things off starting with that education portion by doing kids camps, Ride Away kids camps. So we're very much based in education, conservation as the core of our company.
Cool. And when you said you started with kids camps, what were what was the kids camp entail?
Yeah, sure. So basically what we do is we do like 3 to 4 hour sections Monday through Friday. And this was during the summer, so it's during kids' summer break. So we teach them the body mechanics and technical portions of kayaking and paddleboarding, and then we'd use that as kind of a window to then connect them to their natural surroundings. So our
Mhm.
goal is to create little ocean guardians, is what we say.
Yeah,
So we want those kids to understand that they're a part of the ecosystem, they're a part of nature. It's not separate from them. And so we try to introduce them to it, kind of that touch, feel, smell approach, so that they feel connected to it and they're going to want to protect it and do everything they can to keep it healthy and realize that they're going to be a big part in making that happen.
excuse me. So whenever you're doing the 3 or 4 hours, so is it all on? Hang on a sec. Is it
That's
all on paddle porting and stuff, or you said you're doing classrooms with them as well? And
Everything's outside. So we're on the water, we're by the water the whole time. So Monday through Friday, and we still do them. So we've been doing them for 17 years. So it's Monday through Friday, about 3 hours a day, with usually about 12 kids we'd have and two instructors. So most of it is on the water and active. We find kids are a lot more receptive when they're active and a
yep,
little out of their comfort zone. So we like to teach at the same time that we're floating around and having birds fly past us and having little critters crawling under us. And it's just a much easier place to connect kids with what we're learning about.
gotcha. So when you're transitioning from kids camps to now you do kayak rentals, paddleboard rentals, bike rentals, and you have 5 locations.
Yeah, yep. So honestly, the nice thing is, like I started the company when I was 25. So I kind of had the freedom to not, I didn't have a wife, I didn't have kids at that point, so I could take some risks. So we are so based in that education approach that once we started to grow, we took that, we took that and just made sure it was a massive part of everything we did from that point on. So even when we do our rentals with kayaks, paddleboards, and bikes, we still have we still have that be a part of it when we introduce people to their kayak, to the rental, to the space where they're going to be going out. We make sure to introduce, like, this is what you're going to see, this is some of the issues that we're dealing with in this area. So it's very much, we're based still in that same concept that got us started. So we do tours as well. We've won Best of Cape Cod 14 years in a row for our tours. And we're one of the only companies that have certified, like fully certified ACA guides that, are taught in the technical portion, and then also naturalists that teach kids and adults about the area while they're on the tours. So that's kind of that transition. So we still do our kids camps every summer, but then we were able to grow the concept into guided tours, into lessons, into rentals, even into large group activities.
Sure. So the Cape has an Atlantic side and a bay side, I assume.
It has the Atlantic side. So we operate on both sides. So everywhere that we operate is protected water. So we don't do any like open ocean. It's all in creeks, estuaries, and
Oh,
bays.
cool.
Yeah, so it's even perfect for never evers. So our demographic is very like beginner to intermediate based. And then experts just love the fact that like these spaces that we operate are so, they're just absolutely gorgeous. So we fit all skill levels.
So what's some of the unique things you can see? You start talking about you tell people what they can see on the Cape. So give us a spiel. What can you see on doing on one of your tours?
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, our approach is very much like touch, feel, smell, and just like be a part of where we are. So it's a lot of bird activity, like huge bird watching areas that we go out of. So like I'm a huge bird nerd myself. So like when I do guided tours, that's what I focus on. And so we
So,
see
yeah, such as yes. Oh, go ahead, go ahead. You're
yeah,
part.
massive variety. So we have a bunch of like seasonal birds that migrate back up in the summer and then migrate out once the winter starts to come. So a lot of ospreys, a lot of herons, a lot of ibises, which are really cool. But yeah, that list goes on. So like one of our tours is in an area called Scorton Creek. So we go from saltwater to brackish water all the way into freshwater on that tour. So the variety of birds that you see is just insane. So you go from like shorebirds that like terns that dive and hunt little bait fish all the way into those big, like I said, great blue heron, green heron, those brackish water, bigger, long necks, big hunting birds that'll hunt those little tidal pools. And then we end up in freshwater where you'll see, the woodpeckers, the red-winged blackbirds, the red-tailed hawks, it's like a lot of stuff like that. And then you combine that with like the low tide. I love low tide tours because you get to see everything that's going on at the bottom. So that's a lot of crabs, which are really cool. We have the horseshoe crab, which are older than dinosaurs. So to talk about that, like talk about those is awesome. But yeah, there's just such a variety of just radical stuff that you can see and talk about, and people actually get to like interact with it in their natural environment. So it's really neat.
Do you ever get tired of it?
No, honestly, it's pretty funny. I was just saying that. So that Scorton Creek, I mean, I was born here, so I've been running that creek since no joke, since I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I've probably done it thousands of times, but it just changed. It's never the same. So that's kind of what makes it so amazing. But no, I haven't really gotten sick of anything so far, which
Awesome.
after
Yeah,
17 years of running the business is definitely a positive.
yeah. My day job too.
Yeah,
I've been doing it a version of this for 16 years now,
nice.
and every day I started working in it, it's like wow, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. And
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you have that,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. When you have those types of feelings, I've had jobs where even I've had companies where I was like, oh, here we go, another day, another dollar type of a
Right,
deal.
right.
Miserable ways to live life, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I kind of had that quarter life crisis, and I didn't know anything different. So like, no offense to Fidelity, but it just that was not my calling. And so to have that change in like, all right, we're going to work, like we're
Yeah,
getting paid, and then to do this and all of a sudden just be like, oh my God, like even the creation and like getting to getting to be so creative and try new things with the business.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
love
yeah.
it. I love it. I love the whole
You're
concept.
lucky. I hit mine in my second quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
50, and
Yeah.
that's when I started to get it as well. Like, what am I doing? So you're when do you start running? I guess you're running tours now, I assume, or Starting
So
to?
right now we actually we partner with a company called Auto Camp. It's a pretty neat concept. They do Airstreams and like glamping. Then they have locations all over the United States. So they opened one on Cape Cod on a bike path called the Shining Sea Bikeway. It's beautiful. It runs all along the coast in Falmouth. So they're the first location that we open up, and we do operate their bike rentals out of that location specifically. So that's where we start. And then once May 1st hits, we open up and start doing our tours and our rentals and stuff like that. So our season goes from May 1st until the end of October.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And can you list all every service you do for the
Yeah.
people? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So we do, like I said, we do kayak, paddleboard, and bike tours. We also do paddleboard and kayak lessons. One of our locations is at an area called Lawrence Pond. So it's contained, flat water, awesome for beginners, but also really great for those lessons. It's a very predictable space, nice flat, not ve it's not going to scare anybody off that space. So it's a great spot to teach the paddleboarding, to teach the kayaking.
Get the
It's where
feel,
we
get your
do
balance on something smooth.
yeah, yeah, and we do our paddleboard yoga there, where we do yoga on the paddle boards. And so that space is great. And then once, after the tours, we do our rentals, so our paddleboard, kayak, and bike rentals where people can just rent them and go off on their own. So we do that at the Cape Cod Canal bike path, which is right in Sandwich. It runs along the canal, so it's a
Mhm.
full water. You're always on the water, which is really neat. And then we have our Great Marsh location in Sandwich, which is that tidal flat that I was referencing, Scorton
Mhm.
Creek. Then we have our Pompanesett Bay location, which is a beautiful protected bay in Mashpee that has this really nice private beach that you can only reach by boat. So that's a really cool spot. So those are the five locations that we operate. And then we have our kids camps. We have our surf shop that's at 68 Tupper Road at that Cape Cod Canal space. So those are the activities we do and that we offer on a daily basis during the summer.
Gotcha. So, hang on a second. You said you had one more thing to add to your services?
And yeah, so one of the other really unique things that we actually started on Cape Cod is we deliver kayaks, paddleboards, and bikes right to rentals. So people come to the Cape, they rent a house for the week, and there's beautiful locations right on the water. So we will literally bring the equipment right to their doorstep, set it up on the beach for them so they have it for their whole stay. So, we'll get calls, people saying, like, hey, we want two kayaks, two paddleboards, and four bikes for the week. And we'll just bring it all, drop it off, set it up. And yeah, we bring the adventure to you, is what we say. So it's a nice, convenient way to kind of add a really fun amenity to your vacation.
Yeah, it sounds like you have one of the most thought out and functional rentals places on the Cape.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we've been here the longest. We've definitely changed the way that kind of the adventure industry. I don't think when people thought of Cape Cod, they really would think of like it was more or less like beaches, ice cream, mini golf, and that was it. And now we've really really encouraged people and highlighted the Cape as a place where, you come to get to experience the environment and become part of it and more of an adventure destination than just a place to
That's
come and sit in the beach for a week.
that's really neat, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, I love to fish. So I got to ask a question. How's the fishing over there, man?
It's good. It's really good. So we have a lot of people that rent our equipment to go fishing. So we have striped bass is definitely like the number one that people come out to go fish here
Hmm.
on the Cape. Once they come in, they hit pretty fast and pretty hard. And then there's awesome places. The Cape has over 170 freshwater ponds that are like so fun to just go fish. And then there's obviously the deep ocean stuff that people are going after, but that's not for us. No
Right,
kayak,
not in
no
a
kayak
kayak.
fishing there. Yeah,
How
great
far out do
fishing.
you have to go to hit the deep water?
So there's the shelf that's where people go and that's where they go to fish for like tuna and stuff like that. But I mean, they're taking their boats probably like 3, 4 hours out.
So 40 miles maybe.
Yeah, yeah, they're going at least 40 miles out.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's beautiful when it's calm. terrible when it's rough, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, best way to get in touch with you, Mike.
For sure. So we can always, our website is rideawayadventures.com. Super easy to book online, very intuitive, very simple, but you can always give us a call, 508-247-0827, and you'll always get a real person to ask questions
Wow.
you know, we love talking to our customers and things have changed so much in 17 years. It used to all be phone calls. And so we kind of miss having those conversations with customers to make sure like what they're going to book is the exact perfect thing. So you can always reach us on that phone number. Hello@rideawayadventures.com is our email, which you'll always get a response within 12 hours. And then our social handles are all at Rideaway Adventures. So Instagram, you can reach us that way. Facebook, you can reach us that way. Twitter
Mm.
or X now. So yeah, you can reach us on all those things. But like I said, we love talking to our customers and we love like making sure they're going to get the perfect fit for what they're hoping for themselves and their families.
Gotcha. I always ask one question at the end of the podcast, and that question is, what do you love about life?
Well, what I love about life is basically how every single day is a brand new adventure is what I love. And I think that's why I love this job and this company so much is that you're always talking to somebody different. You're always dealing with a different challenge. You're always dealing with a different highlight. And the fact that, everything changes. And if you see that as a positive and you see that as a beautiful thing, then life's a pretty fun adventure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being on the show, and I look forward to hearing from you again, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mark, and thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome, sir.